Hey everyone. So I wanted to ask you guys a question, and this is something that is rather important. Talked about it before, but I'm going to go all metaphorical and crap, possibly to paint a better picture. So my question to you is, what's with all this drama? And by drama, I mean you placing yourself in a position where you compromise yourself and others. It's not just one person, okay? And several people, but they go at each other's necks like over silly things, or I consider them silly, maybe not to you, but they're things that can be resolved, preventable, so long as you can communicate in a kindly and kind of calm fashion. Yeah, not you're not going to always want to be calm and kind to people who might rip you off and be total jerks or how you see them as jerks, but like, why are you doing this to yourself? Like, why are you stressing yourself out? This is going to be my second installment of Internet Etiquette, the YouTube edition, so I hope you guys enjoy. Please understand that these are my thoughts, and there are a couple of things you might be wondering if, you just find this annoying. So you might be saying, oh, Three Ring, aren't you being kind of hypocritical by making a vid about rant videos, and stuff when you're making a video chastising others? All right, well, first of all, let's just get a few things out of the way and clarified. Maybe you might see it this way, and I can't stop you from thinking the way you do, but please understand that I'm trying to provide insight and possible advice. Do you have to listen to what I say? No, I absolutely not. You are free to think what you will, but I think it's important that for people to be able to listen to each other, not just hear what's going on. I mean, I know a lot of you like to, shut stuff out when you're upset, but, sometimes listening and kind of, uh, like looking for some kind of middle ground is what will help, you know, calm everything that's going on. And I honestly think if you think that like am I chastising you? No, I'm not. I'm not trying to. If it comes off that way, I apologize. I personally want to understand what the heart of the problem is for some people. And I think that people try to pick at the surface when there's like a more internal problem that needs to be like proper care. And I don't know if you guys know me too well, but if you do, I'm 20 years old. So, I know sometimes people think this. You might say, "Hey, you only think you're so smart because you're older than most of us." And I know that a lot of you are in your like early teens and, middle mid teens and stuff like that. So, here's what I have to say about that. Yes, I am older than you, but you are completely mistaken if you think I'm smarter than you in some way. That is quite the contrary. I'm not smarter than any of you, and I know this. You're all very intelligent, and I know that there are reasons beyond what goes on that you may deal with. Um, that may reflect your own personal qualms or lifestyle or whatever. Again, these are just my thoughts, and to be honest, they're more inquiries than anything. I can't really assume anything of people. I can only observe and ask questions. It's what I do, it's what I study, and that's why I'm making this video. So say what you will. I'm not going to force you to listen. In fact, you can just cut it off. You could have cut it off, as soon as this thing started, but if you do care to listen, then you can prove yourself to be a pretty good listener. And that's very mature, and I appreciate people who are willing to hear what I have to say. And it's not going to all make sense. Um, some things don't make sense to myself, even things that I say, but it's kind of what comes internally, and I try to, work it out. So let's just get started. So to me, I'm a relativist, um, and basically I believe that everyone has their own view of something that may be a completely similar situation to somebody else, but because of the way they were raised or because of some kind of, genetic disposition or whatever, they choose to believe certain things that may not be or may be, something else. So things that happen in let's say a circular room. So we're in a circular room. Things that happen in the same room at the same time are all different to the different people who are present. One person's disposition allows them to possibly think more pessimistically of a situation, while another to be more naive. There are those who see neutrality and those who see a need to fight back. But somewhere in the room lies like the peacekeeping section. It's the middle ground or the center of the room. People who see neutrality, they try to stay in the center of the room, possibly being passive, and possibly, speaking out to the people around the room and watching others and gathering information. Does this mean they know everything? No, absolutely not. But they're able to kind of, that's kind of what people do. They generate possible rationing and reasons based on observation and repeated experience. And this is where I stand. And this is where I want to stay. I don't want to pick sides with anyone. I just want to be able to understand. And you know what? You don't have to tell me, and I can leave you alone. And I'm not focusing my attention on just one person. This is just in general. But understand that there are people who want to understand that there are people who want to know why you might do the things you do and are willing to help you or talk about it or whatever. So that's where I am, and this is the point of view I'm coming from. I understand that you all have your own points of view, but this is my own personal view. So, we are all part of this circular room. All of you, me, other people, people you interact with. But we're all on different points of the plane, and some people are more clumped than others, while others might be further from the center. Um, there are some people who are really close to the wall and don't want to tread any further for whatever reason. But in the end, you have to remember we're all part of the same room. We coexist, if you will, harmoniously, um, not always, but do we always have to interact? No, not in the least. But there's some level of mutuality that has to be there for us to stay away from like a total chaotic spiraling into um like horrific events. And when two sides start like opposing each other, others might migrate further and further from the center to kind of, bring support or to even be further away from the problem. And sometimes the center doesn't always seem like a safe place to be for people. Uh, and you, as a YouTuber, as a friend, as an acquaintance, business partner, um, there's an equilibrium, and you are part of it. And there's no point in, you know, trying to break that equilibrium because it's just going to become a snowball effect. You may not understand things, you may be frustrated at people, and you honestly may not care what you do or how that affects people. But regardless of whether you care or not, your actions have consequences. And we lie in a circle, so chances are that like your ball of misguided anger and angst and stuff is going to hurt others. And am I saying you're selfish for being upset? No, like, of course not, but it's not going to do good for you either. Like, there's a time to be upset and there's a time to be more, calm and understanding, even if you don't want to, but, it's better for yourself. And you should do that for yourself, because there's no point in, holding a grudge and hurting yourself, like making yourself hurt, or being upset. And if you're upset half the time, then that whole ball of angst is most likely to ricochet against this like the walls of this circle, and it'll ricochet back to you. And I don't want to see that. And no matter what anyone else says, like seeing other people hurt, it hurts people. No one wants to actually see that, no matter how upset they are with you. So please, if you're a member of this community, I understand that there are a lot of people who make you angry, and you don't want to deal with them. And you don't have to deal with them, but if you try to start a fight or enable one to happen, then you're going to be doing yourself and others a disservice. Again, these are my thoughts, not yours, and I'm merely sharing this because it hurts. It hurts to see when, I have a YouTube friend and someone else is bashing them or vice versa. And it hurts to see that because I know you're all really good people and I know that you guys are young. Is that, is that an excuse? No, definitely not. But this is all part of growing up and um kind of becoming an integral part of society. A society where people can respect each other. So, I don't understand everything that goes on, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to try to understand. So that's how neutrality and middle ground and compromise is reached. So that was a pretty long explanation, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys later.